Machakos County gets from being part of the Nairobi metropolitan area has made it a very, sometimes a safe haven for criminals running away from the city of Nairobi, and particularly gangs that take over large tracts of land that exist in this area. We are, as you very well know, we have been dealing with squatter problems. And the squatter problem of Machakos is not squatters because there is historical land injustice. No. Most of the squatters that are giving us problems in Machakos is basically squatters that are procured and transported and paid to occupy private and public land with the intention of grabbing it in the end. Because these are gangs who are brought from different parts of the country, and these are squatters who are hired by the Mabwenyenye themselves, who are the actual land grabbers, but they want to use citizens to do that. We had successful removal of these squatters in bracket from the East Africa Portland's land. We still have challenges in many other properties around Machakos, particularly Machakos County. And part of the strategies we are going to listen to the public in this forum is how best we can be able to sort out this issue once and for all. The very few genuine squatters that may be existing, we will make sure that their interests are taken care of. There are also members of public who have been duped, okay, to buy land by dishonest characters who are actually in this business of grabbing land. And those ones who are genuine victims of fraudulent activities by these criminals, we are going also to find ways to make sure that they have been taken care of. However, the rest of the goons and gangs that are grabbing land, some even establishing quarries inside these properties and selling the quarry materials for profit, we are going to deal with it. And I want to tell you that this syndicate that deals with land issues in Machakos is not confined, as I said, to big people alone. They are big business people, they are highly placed politicians, highly placed government officials. We have officers from the Ministry of Lands, we have officers from our ministry, we have police officers, we have administrative officers who are colluding with all these criminals to perpetuate this land fraud. And we have decided from our security briefing today that this issue must be escalated to National Security Council, and we must have one strategy to confront this problem in Machakos. And it must not be a strategy of one administration. It must be the strategy of the government of Kenya, so that we deal with it once, and when there are changes of administration, that policy that has been put in place shall become escalated and inherited, knowing clearly that this is the government policy on these issues. We also know that the reason why there is a lot of land fraud and targeting of land here with the squatters in quotes is because of existence of large tracts of land in Machakos County. We will want to work with the landowners in this county to see how best can we secure their properties, because we can already see the trend. If you see people have moved from Portland land, they have moved to the BAT land, they are moving to the next land, you can already predict that when they move from this property, they will go to the next vacant property, or generally where the occupation or utilization may not be done at the moment by the owners. So we want to have proactive conversation with these owners and ask ourselves, how best are we going to help them to secure their land beforehand, so that they do not become victims of this issue. We are also going to work with Ministry of Lands to make sure that genuine title deeds are established. There is already existing government task force reports that needs implementation, and once we escalate this issue to National Security Council through the National Security Committee, we will then sieve out all these issues together and communicate the way forward. I want to say that there is no inch of land in this republic that we are going to surrender to any gangs and any criminals who are, whether they come from Nairobi or any part of the country, who they want to make Machakos their safe haven. This is an issue that we must deal with, and deal with it decisively. On the question of other issues of security concerns in this area, we have very few issues of, apart from land, we have small problems that are related to the vandalization of critical infrastructure of government. That includes the expressway, it includes the highways, it includes the electricity installations, including the transformers. All these critical infrastructure are being secured, and I'm very happy with the work that has been done already by our regional and county security committee to completely decimate the criminal gang that was stealing transformers in this county. And going forward, we will continue deploying better strategies to ensure that those people who are vandalizing our roads, our critical infrastructure for purpose of scrap metal are going to be dealt with decisively. And this is another challenge that we face in this area. Otherwise, we intend to have general cooperation with the judiciary. We don't want suspects of high crimes being given lenient bail terms and then being released to the society to continue harassing us in the country. This is an issue also that we must deal with it and deal decisively. Otherwise, these are part of the things that we are going to deal with. In summary, for purpose of what we have seen in the lower eastern, in the 3 counties, this is a relatively calm region. You know, it is one of those regions you will be happy to live in, to say that you are not facing very serious crimes. You don't have very big problems to deal with, like banditry or many other problems, including serious insecurity issues. Here, they are manageable. Except in Kitui, of course, we discussed matters of boundary issues and invasion of criminal activities by bandits in that area. That is the only, possibly one of the small issues we are dealing with in that particular corner. We are also dealing with, in the same region, generally land issues. And as I have said, here is really the epicenter of land problems. In Makueni, it is private land issues, families fighting over succession of land and sharing of land. Here, it's invasion of land. And in Kitui, generally, it's about competition of land resources by both the pastoralists and livestock farmers practicing pastoralism and those who are doing crop farming. Generally, that is a cross-cutting issue. And then wildlife issues. We have a challenge of human-wildlife conflict. From here, parts of Masinga, you go to Makueni, which is the epicenter, and you have parts of Kitui, including particularly Kitui South and so forth. So I think this is a general summary of the region. We are happy with the work that's being done by our security team. We have picked the issues that we need to do. We are also soon escalating some of the issues which are cross-cutting across the country by providing cross-cutting policy responses that will help us respond across the country, not just in the 3 counties. Asante sana.
Naomba nitoke kidogo nikuulize swali kuhusiana na ule uhamishaji wa waliokuwa naishi pale Mwao, watu 2000 ambao walihamishwa, lakini serikali mwaka uliopita kupitia wizara yako ya usalama wa ndani ilitoa kima cha shilingi milioni 600 kwa sababu ya fidia. Lakini wapo ambao wanaibuka kusema kwamba bado haijawafikia, wengine imewafikia na kwamba kuna madai ya ufisadi.
Let me say this, that kwa mambo yote ya mambo ya land compensation, without focusing on one area, kitu yoyote inakuwa na land compensation, lazima tuhakikishe kwamba tunafuata mpaka mwisho. Na complaints yenye tutapata, tutaangalia specific complaints. Ujue kwamba mambo ya squatter pia ni complicated. Mimi pia ujue nilikuwa squatter. na ninaelewa saa zingine wakati unajaribu kusaidia maskwota, kuna wengine wanajiingiza wafaidike kwa njia hiyo. So ni kazi yetu sisi kuhakikisha kwamba lazima tuangalie wale wako genuine na wale wako wale wako wakora wenye wameenda kuletwa. So I just want to say here that settling squatter problem is also has its own complications. Just the way I've said about Machakos here, whether it is Mau, whether it is Cherangani, where I come from, whether it is in coast region, whether it is in the Rift Valley, because most parts of the areas have concerns about squatters. Generally, the question of squatters keeps mutating. If you don't close the window, you finish one compensation, you get another list in the same area. So those issues of fraud, whether people are being compensated, the wrong people being compensated, we will make sure that we deal with every specific case, and we have mechanisms of doing so. And we want to ask Kenyans who have complaints that they maybe have been left out to put those complaints in writing, submit them to us. We will do thorough investigations and we'll make sure that everybody is settled. I am very happy with what His Excellency the President, and as a ministry we are very happy with what he did to secure Mau Forest. I know he has a visit in that area in a few weeks, and once we are there, we will be also addressing those concerns that may emanate from concerns. And also when we go to Narok for Bomet, Kericho, for Jukwaa la Usalama, we can also get the feeling from the chiefs and the assistant chiefs. As I say, these are ground people, and the wananchi from the ground, they can also help us have a feel of exactly what is the problem. That is the reason why this public engagement and the stakeholder engagement is extremely useful for us in terms of sorting out issues, including historical ones.
The National Security Council, is it aware of what was happening, and is there any involvement of security officers? Are we going to see a major investigation in terms of these allegations?
You know that medical practice of organ transplant is a specialized area, and unless there is a specific complaint that there is either acts malpractices in the medical field, then it doesn't escalate directly to the police sector immediately, because there are many layers in the ministry itself. The medical and dentist and practitioners board have a responsibility for regulating the sector, and then you have also the ministry, as rightly as done, to put in place a task force. If it was an easy issue of just a crime committed, you arrest someone, we could never seen a task force being established. That task force has been established because it's a specialized area. And out of the investigations of the task force, we are confident that the truth will come out. Once the truth comes out and points out to acts of culpability, or if the task force points out areas of weaknesses so far as organ transplant, and I don't want to say organ trafficking now, because when you say trafficking, it's a crime by itself. Since investigation is ongoing, once we know the truth, we go to the bottom of this issue, definitely we will now be guided on how to respond to these issues going forward. But as I said, some criminal activities that have national security component have specialized agencies and have their own complexities that must be dealt with before you can confidently speak publicly that there was transgressions or that there was widespread commissions of acts of impropriety on any part of a citizen of the Republic. We will take about, how many? 3 or 4. Aja nijaribu ule, nitarudi kwako. Ndugu amesimama pale. hakuna mtu nadhani hamkuelewa vizuri. Ile majadiliano tulikuwa nayo kwa bunge ni kwamba haikuwa inahusiana na mtu mmoja ama mtu fulani. Tulikuwa wabunge walikuwa wanauliza tu generally kama sisi kama serikali ama wafanyikazi wa serikali wanajua jukumu yao katika ile tunasema kurasa rasmi ya siri ya serikali. Hakuna mtu amecomplain kwetu kwamba kuna mtu amevunja hiyo sheria hadi sasa, na kwa hivyo hakuna investigations na hakuna mtu tunajaribu kuinvestigate kwa sababu hatuna malalamishi yote kwa mtu yoyote kuhusu mambo ya Official Secrets Act. So mpaka tufikie hapo, na si lazima ukue mtu mkubwa ndio usingatie Official Secrets Act. Hata ukiwa secretary ya kwa ofisi ama hata una serve chai na umeshafanya umepewa nafasi ya kuswear in under that act na una access government information, kuna vile sheria inahitajika, na sio information ya private ya person, no, ni information yenye ina compromise national security because hizi zingine kuna kitu secret about strategy ya siasa, strategy ya uongozi, strategy ya whatever. There's nothing secret about that. But if you divulge any information that is regarding to critical national security issues, the law is there for you to follow, including acts of espionage and so forth. So we are not there yet on anybody, but unless we get complaint. So I think members of parliament just wanted to remind us that as state officers we must observe Official Secrets Act. Madam? Maybe you are saying the case of Nairobi Hospital, Kenyatta National Hospital, among others. Those issues are very serious. And there was a statement also I was asked in Parliament about the same. And the one for KNH is under investigations. Hopefully it will help us guide future, the hospitals to do better. Our recommendation from the security sector is that there should be no hospital without CCTV. CCTV now is not a very expensive equipment to install in any premises. You remember a few years ago, almost 7-8 years ago, during the Jubilee administration, the president then requested many business community to help by installing CCTV cameras, even in their own business premises, because they help in security issues. So there is no reason why public hospitals and private hospitals should not have those cameras. They really help us in terms of investigations. And where they, as you've said, there are CCTV cameras, among other ways, we will do thorough investigations, and that should lead to prosecution. And also, this investigation will help us know whether there is a pattern that has developed or it was a one-off issue, and what exactly was the motive when this was done. So it's something we take very seriously, and the Inspector General of Police will be updating the public